Hello everyone, welcome to Humanities Diary. So today we'll be discussing the picture-based questions from Book 2 of Political Science, that is Politics in India Since Independence. I've tried to include all the pictures in this video, that is both the new and the old pictures that were there. But in case I've missed any, kindly do let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so let's get started with the first picture. Right, so in the first picture we can see that if you can see my cursor, you can see that this person right here is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and the Maharaja that is sitting here is the king of Manipur, that is Bodha Chandra Singh. Okay, and this the guy on whom the Maharaja or the king is sitting is basically signifying the people of Manipur, right? So from this picture we can conclude that that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is trying to manipulate the king of Manipur and make him sign the instrument of accession to get Manipur in the Indian Union, right? And the man on whom the king is sitting is basically signifying the state or the treatment that the king used to give to the people, or we can see, or we can even say that before signing the instrument of accession, the king did not even think to consider these people before signing any kind of agreement with the government of India. Okay, so that is the reason why you can see over here that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is saying, no, don't get up, your highness, just give me this, that will do, right? So in a way it's trying to kind of, but Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is trying to butter up the king of Manipur, right? So moving on to the next picture. Okay, so we can see that the person sitting here in the forefront over here in this picture, this person is basically Jawaharlal Nehru, and he's trying to accommodate the the linguistic demands of all the states. Like over here we can see that there is this person, he's on his it's written Vishal Andhra, and over here it's written Maha Gujarat. So all the people of different states were speaking different languages. They were saying that we need a different state for ourselves, right? And so that is the reason why in India, basically after many struggles and all, we have so many different states belonging to people who speak different language. For example, you can see that we have Maharashtra for those people who speak Maratha or Marathi, and we have Gujarat for people who speak Gujarati, and even Punjab was later on divided into Haryana and Himachal Pradesh and all that, right? So that is the reason why. So basically, this picture is refers to the problems of the reorganization of state. Okay, so moving on to the next picture. Yes, so in this picture we can see that there is a musician over here, and there is one bottle whereby it's written SRC, that is State Reorganization Commission, and there is a big guy, and this big guy is basically the genie. Okay, so now let us interpret the picture. So basically the person who is here sitting here as the musician is basically Jawaharlal Nehru, and the bottle represents the State Reorganization Commission, which was basically created by Jawaharlal Nehru himself, right? And this genie is basically representing the problem after the creation of State Reorganization Commission, because once the State Reorganization Commission was created, basically it created a very big problem of separation of state, because the demands of people for the creation of separate states for themselves, for their own language, on the basis of language linguistic state, it keeps on increasing, and hence the leaders and Jawaharlal Nehru was basically finding it really a problematic situation to find a solution to find a solution basically for creation of separate states. So basically if we read this, we can see that Jawaharlal Nehru is shown as the magician. He is the one who created the State Reorganization Commission, which is represented by the bottle, and the genie, it basically represents the demand of the people for the creation of separate linguistic states, which kept on increasing with time, and hence Jawaharlal Nehru and other leaders were finding it very difficult to meet the demand of the people, or to put the genie back into the bottle. Okay, moving on to the next picture. So basically this picture, it represents an impression of election committee that was formed by Congress to choose the party candidates in 1951. On the committee, besides Jawaharlal Nehru, so we can see that this person in the forefront, he is Jawaharlal Nehru. So beside him, we can see that there are various leaders, and the name of some of the leaders that we can mention over here is Morarji Desai, Rafi Ahmed, and we have Kamraj, and we have Jagjeevan Ram, and then we have so many other leaders that if asked in the paper, that name two or three of the leaders sitting on top of the on top of the stand of the election commission, so you can name any of these names that is given here, right? So let us move on to the next picture. Yes, so this picture is basically tug of war of 29 August 1954. Even this picture is a cartoonist impression of the relative strength of the opposition and the government, that is the Congress government sitting on the top of the tree. Because how do we know that it is the Congress government? Because we can see that here again Jawaharlal Nehru is present, right? So sitting on the tree are Nehru and his cabinet colleagues. They're trying to topple the tree as the opposition leaders. So hereby the name of some of the opposition leaders are given, right? So in case you are asked to name the leaders, you can say Jawaharlal Nehru, or you can name any of the leaders that is given over here, right? So let us move on to the next picture. Yes, so this picture basically it depicts the failed attempt of centralization planning or of centralized planning, especially in the case of reforms done in the villages. Like we should have a decentralized planning in the country so that the planning at the local level can be efficient, right? So but basically this picture is showing that if you see that this man running with the javelin or with the let's say the stick, is basically he himself is quite injured, and the stick as well, you can see that it is being it's being repaired at many different places. So this shows how centralized planning, especially for the case of villages, was not a very good one. So that is the reason why we needed decentralized planning, as in the case of Kerala, so that the some kind of development could be done at the village level as well. Okay, so moving on to the next picture. So this picture shows the government's attempt, or Jawaharlal Nehru's attempt, to balance between the public sector and the private sector for the development of the country. So basically he was trying to come up with a mixed economy, that is both having both government sectors or private sector, or sorry, public sector and the private sector. So we can say that from this picture that it is the private sector which was having most of the profit, because you can see that here Jawaharlal Nehru is trying to balance the economy, the Indian economy, by the help of private and public sector both. But at the end of the day, we can see that it was the private sector which was on the top. So we can say that private sector was having most of the profit. Okay, so moving on to the next picture. So this picture basically shows the expectation of the third five-year plan, which was very high, due to which Jawaharlal Nehru is asking the poor people to have some patience, because he was very sure that the third five-year plan will work out. However, the outcome of the third five-year plan was very low, and did not meet the needs of the poorer section of the society. And basically the people, the Indian people, especially of the people who came from a very low class background, they were left in hunger and famine. Okay, moving on to the next picture. Yeah, so this picture basically you have to know this picture very very carefully, because this picture especially, it comes quite often for the paper. So this cartoon basically is trying to represent the race of secession after Lal Bahadur Shastri died, where Indira Gandhi is seen as the winner and supported by other senior Congress leaders. Okay, and you can see that Indira Gandhi is here, and she got the position of number 1, and these people, they are the syndicate leaders or the senior leaders who initially supported Indira Gandhi, right? And the person over here who is, you can see, running at the start of the race is Morarji Desai, who basically lost the election to Indira Gandhi. Okay, so let us move on to the next picture. Okay, so it's written over here, keep right, no left turn. Keep right, no left turn. So basically this code, that is keep right, no left turn, it indicates Charan Singh attempt to build a united front party on the basis of non-communist ideology and supposed to follow the rightist only, because we have two different kind of ideology, the leftist and the rightist. So in this attempt we can see that this person basically is Charan Singh, and he's attempting to to form a united front party with no people of the communist party or no people of the leftist ideology, and only people who belong to the rightist ideology. Okay, so some of the parties here are Lokdal Party, Bharatiya Kranti Sabha, Samyukt Socialist Party, and Bharatiya Kranti Dal. Okay. Okay, now let us move on. Okay, so even this picture, you have to know this picture very well, because many a times even this picture comes in the paper. So basically we can see that this entire picture is trying to represent the presidential election of 1969, and the lady over here is Indira Gandhi, and the man, the happy person with this garland or the mala is basically VV Giri, and the leader, he's the VV Giri, who was basically nominated by Indira Gandhi for the presidential election. Okay, and the person lying down over here is N. Sanjeeva Reddy, and his lying down is basically signifying the defeat of Congress O in the presidential election. And the man who is sitting here on his knee is basically Nija Lingappa, who was one of the senior Congress leader of the syndicate. Okay, he was one of the senior Congress leader and the president of Congress at that point of time, right? So you know that after a certain point of time, Congress was basically divided into Congress O and Congress R. So this picture is basically kind of representing the the differences that was there between Congress R and Congress O, and we can see that over here Congress O, that is the old Congress, or the, let's say, the Congress led by the syndicate members, they are seen defeated in this particular picture. Okay, yes, moving on to the next picture. Yes, so basically this is the cartoon of the syndicate who lost the election of 1970-71. They are basically running after Indira Gandhi. Here it is Indira Gandhi, and these are the syndicate leaders. So these syndicate leaders, they're basically running after Indira Gandhi to remind her to dissolve the Congress and start afresh, start once again, as it was the wish of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so this after the division of Congress O and Congress R, when the Congress O was defeated, so they basically was trying, they were basically trying to manipulate Indira Gandhi कि फिर से वापस से फिर से शुरू करते हैं, एक नए तरीके से, will start again, will be group leaders, will be a one single group once again and start afresh. But Indira Gandhi, she was not really a supporter of starting everything once all over again. Okay, so moving on to the next picture. Yes, so this picture basically indicates a very grand victory of Indira Gandhi in the election of 1971. That is the reason you can see that on the first position, the second position, and the third position, all the position, they are basically occupied by the same lady, that is Indira Gandhi. And hereby we can see that she's winning the election in very election in strong constituency, as well as from her weak constituency. मतलब कि ना ही वो बस अपने constituency से जीत रही हैं, but दूसरे constituency से जहाँ पे उनको it was felt कि maybe she will lose over there, even वहाँ पे भी वो जीत रही हैं, right? And the members on the ground are the opposition leaders. The members on the ground are the opposition leaders who thought that they will win the election of 1971, especially after the slogan of Indira Hatao, but they did not. But she did not lose. Indira Gandhi did not lose, and that is the reason why you can see that people over here, these people, they are saying that I cannot believe it. I thought I was coming first, you second, and he third. Like they could not believe that Indira Gandhi won the election in all the constituencies, both weak and strong. Okay, so moving on to the next picture. Okay, so this picture basically indicates that Indira Gandhi had won the election of 1971. This lady again was Indira Gandhi. She had won the election of 1971 from a massive support, especially from the poor section of India due to her slogan Garibi Hatao, and which was basically a pro-poor slogan. And also she had come up with a number of programs for pro-poor programs. Okay, and the men that we can see here that is coming out of the trophy basically indicates the poor section of India demanding Indira Gandhi to help them out of the poverty, to eradicate poverty from their life. Okay, okay, next picture. Okay, so this picture is basically indicating the manner of choosing CM, Chief Minister, for each state after the victory of election of 1971. The toys here, these toys, they, yeah, just let me underline. Yeah, the toys here, they represent the different state, and Indira Gandhi, here is Indira Gandhi. She is seen as changing the head or the government in those states by using Article 356, installing the Congress ministry in different states in 1972. Okay, so we will end over here for this particular video. The rest of the pictures from book 2 will be available in part 2 of the video, which will be uploaded very soon. So till now, please like, share and subscribe to Humanities Diary. And if in case is there is any question, any doubt regarding these pictures, kindly write in the comment section below. Okay, so I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.